The famous Tottenham Hotspur, the gift that keep giving. Tottenham Hotspur, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. You make me feel so good about football. Tottenham Hotspur fans, they constantly tell you, don't they? They're a massive club. They're a massive club whose great-granddad saw them win the double. They constantly tell you that they're a massive club. They're a massive club who have won 2 League Cups since 1991. 2 League Cups since 1991. They'll tell you that they won the double. You think you're a big club because your great-granddad saw you win the double. Like, your grandparents, I assume, will not know this team that won the double. They won't have witnessed it in their own eyes. Like, it isn't the teams that we think of when we think of, like, Tottenham former teams. You know, maybe you think of Waddle, maybe you think of Hoddle, maybe you think of Ardiles. They're the teams of a bygone era. It's not that. It is way back. You're looking at 1961. You're looking at Dave Mackay. You're looking at Danny Blanchflower. That's how long ago it was. It was closer to the Victorian era than it is to today. And now they have made a massive mistake because the appointment of Antonio Conte was the moment that I genuinely believed that they had got it right. Mourinho troubled me. When they got Mourinho, I was worried because Mourinho is Chelsea's greatest ever manager. That is a fact. And when Tottenham appointed him, I thought there is trouble ahead. But at the time of the appointment, Mourinho was on the wane. Antonio Conte felt like he was at the height of his powers. Antonio Conte's next job will potentially be Real Madrid, Juventus. It will be a massive club. And yet he couldn't make it work at Tottenham. And it does make you wonder if somewhere intertwined into the fabric of the DNA of that club, there is poison. Because Mourinho couldn't make it work. Conte couldn't make it work. Excellent manager after excellent manager has not been able to make it work. And their policy of appointing former Chelsea managers, you know, it doesn't matter who it is. Think Villas-Boas, Glenn Hoddle, they constantly go for managers that have managed Chelsea because they want to replicate. They are envious of what Chelsea have achieved. They're not going to like that. And then they try and replicate it. So I think they'll go for Tuchel, but Tuchel needs to avoid it. Tuchel could get a Real Madrid job. Tuchel needs to avoid it. And now I don't know what Tottenham are going to do because Antonio Conte has 6 months left on his contract. Does Daniel Levy try and avoid paying a huge severance and let Conte see the season out? But that feels risky. You can't buy players this window. You can't buy players for Conte knowing full well he's leaving. Do players commit to the season knowing full well that he's going to leave at the end of the season? What sort of manager is Antonio Conte when he has nothing to lose? I mean, he's volatile, erratic, unpredictable at the best of times. So if he knows that he has nothing to lose and he's leaving the job in 6 months' time anyway, what on earth is he going to say? I must say I'm looking forward to the rest of the season with Tottenham. Because Conte, in this mood, with nothing to lose, is dynamite. He is absolutely dynamite. And what a week it has been for Tottenham. They've lost to Arsenal. Paratici's going to end up in prison by the looks of things. And now Antonio Conte has gone. It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing the club that Tottenham are. I don't think there is a club. You know, if you were to draw a correlation between size of the club and success of the club, is there a worse football team in the world than Tottenham Hotspur? I just don't think. Everton are up there, aren't they? Everton, a huge club with a rich history, far richer history than Tottenham's, in fact. And they haven't won a trophy since 1995, Paul Rideout. But Tottenham, you're looking at Jonathan Woodgate. Jonathan Woodgate in 2008. The last time they won any silverware. And that was only a League Cup. And then prior to that, you're looking at another League Cup. And then prior to that, you're going back to 1991. You're going back to Paul Gascoigne for the last time that they won a significant major trophy for a team that constantly tell you that they're a great cup team. Some would argue, some Tottenham fans would genuinely argue they're the biggest team in London. It's unbelievable, isn't it? It really is unbelievable. And now I really do not know where they go from here. It's going to be so difficult because I feel sorry for Conte. You know, I feel sorry for Conte because I love Antonio Conte. He's one of the best managers that Chelsea have ever had. He really is. He broke my heart when he went to Tottenham, but he really is an exceptionally gifted manager. And I think that Tottenham have massively let him down. They have actually wasted his time. Conte can't focus unless he's challenging for league titles. And if you get into a situation where Antonio Conte is managing Eric Dyer and Emerson Royale and Harry Winks up until recently and whoever else, he isn't going to be able to launch a serious and sustained bid for that league. So I don't really know where they go from here because it feels like a poison chalice. Getting the Tottenham job is obviously a huge job in football. You know, they're a massive team in the context of world football. And getting that job is something that a lot of managers would really fancy. But they have no plan, they have no vision, they have no overarching strategy. And I don't really see it getting any better with a new manager in place. Certain clubs, I think you can have the variable of a manager and you constantly change the manager, but the results stay the same. Everton are actually the same. There's a lot of parallels there. You know, Everton had Ancelotti and it didn't work. They then had Benitez and it didn't work. They now had Lampard. It doesn't work. And I think until the structure of the club is really looked at, it's never going to be rectified. I think this guarantees that Harry Kane will leave at the end of the season. With Manchester United on the up, feeling like they're moving in the right direction, Erik ten Hag getting pretty much every single big decision correct, the only thing they're lacking is an elite level centre forward. Harry Kane could be exactly what they need in the way that they signed Ruud van Nistelrooy, in the way that they signed Teddy Sheringham. You could see him going there, leading the line, scoring the goals that they need. And Harry Kane would make Marcus Rashford, Anthony, Bruno Fernandes, Jadon Sancho potentially a better player. And Manchester United would, I believe, make Harry Kane a winner. So that feels like it's a match made in heaven, and you can't hold it against Harry Kane now. If you're a Tottenham fan, you cannot even hope that Harry Kane stays. What on earth is in it for him to sit tight when Antonio Conte is now going to leave? The rest of this season, though, for Tottenham, it feels like it's a total write-off. They're in a situation where they can't sign players fit for a Conte system because that makes it totally pointless. And the reason that Conte isn't extending is because he hasn't been fully backed. I don't think I've seen a bigger mess at Tottenham for a really, really long time. Where they go from here, I do not know, but I must say that I am thoroughly going to enjoy the ride. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think that this is a good thing for Tottenham? Do you think they should preserve their relationship with Antonio Conte until the 8 months, 6 months is up? Should they sit tight with him until the end of the season? Or should they cut their losses, pay him his severance, and bring someone else in now? Do they bring in Pochettino, start the rebuild all again? Do they bring in Thomas Tuchel and hope that he can be the impact manager that he was at Stamford Bridge? I really don't know where they go from here, but they have made a massive mistake. Not backing him to the end is unacceptable. And people will say constantly that he didn't elevate the players. He didn't develop any players. No player is better under him than they were under previous regimes. But he should not be managing Eric Dyer. He should not be managing Ben Davies. So it is a shambles, but a truly beautiful one. Let me know your thoughts, please, and I wish you a wonderful day. See you in a bit. Ta-da.